How often do we rush to judge life's events? What if our greatest misfortunes were actually blessings in disguise? Welcome to the Moral Minds. Today we're sharing a story that will make you question everything you know about luck, fate, and how we judge our circumstances. Once, in a quiet village, there lived an old man. He didn't have much. He was poor and lived humbly. But there was one thing that made him the envy of the entire village: a magnificent white horse. This wasn't just any horse. It was his friend, his companion, his family. One day, the king himself desired this horse. His minister came knocking at the old man's door, offering a fortune in exchange. The villagers thought the old man would be a fool to refuse. But with calm in his heart, the old man simply said, "How can I sell a family member? He's not for sale." Then one morning, the horse was gone, vanished, stolen perhaps. The villagers gathered quickly, full of harsh words and judgment. "You fool! This is what you get for not selling the horse? Now it's gone, and you have nothing." But the old man, in his quiet wisdom, said, "All we know is the horse is not in the stable. The rest is just a story. Who knows whether it's a misfortune or a blessing?" Days later, something extraordinary happened. The horse returned, but he wasn't alone. He brought back a herd of wild horses more beautiful than anyone had ever seen. The villagers were back again, this time with joy. "You were right. Losing the horse was a blessing after all. Look at all these horses. You'll be rich now." But again, the old man softly smiled and replied, "Who knows whether it's a blessing or a misfortune? All we know is that the horse is back." Soon after, the old man's only son began training the wild horses. One day, tragedy struck. His son was thrown from one of the horses and broke his leg. The villagers returned, shaking their heads. "You see? It was a curse all along. Now your son is injured, and you're left with no one to help." The old man sighed and said, "His leg is broken. But who's to say whether this is a misfortune or a blessing?" Weeks passed, and war broke out across the land. Every able-bodied young man in the village was called to fight, leaving behind weeping families, fearing they'd never see their sons again. But the old man's son, with his broken leg, was spared from the army. Once again, the villagers came to the old man, this time with tears in their eyes, saying, "Your son's injury was a blessing. He's safe, while our sons are gone." But the old man, calm and unshaken, said, "Who knows what lies ahead? Whether it's a blessing or a misfortune, no one can tell. Only time reveals the truth." In life, we rush to judge what's happening to us. A setback, a broken heart, a lost job, we often label them as misfortunes. But what if, like the old man, we paused? What if we allowed life to unfold, knowing that we don't always see the full picture? The truth is, what we see as misfortune today might be tomorrow's greatest blessing. So, the next time life throws you an unexpected twist, ask yourself, is this a setback or a setup for something greater? Maybe it's both. Remember, life's greatest lessons are often hidden in plain sight. Don't rush to judge. Trust the journey. Subscribe for more stories that inspire and challenge the way you see the world. What do you think? Share your story in the comments. Watch this next video on how setbacks can fuel your success.